And welcome back to the Finding Your Way Finding Your Way podcast, Unfiltered
Yeah,
Sports Weekly. Kev
wrong fucking podcast.
caught me in the death loop here.
That would be the equivalent of me going, "Hello and welcome to the Oh shit.
That's exactly what just happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
exactly to a T. What just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. How you doing? I'm Keb, by the way.
I'm the Beeb. With your
Yeah,
messy beginning.
we should start it over, but I mean, that would defeat the whole unfiltered part of it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, 47 seconds. There's nobody watching, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't even know why we go live anymore. All these people, they be like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch you on Tuesday. Yeah, we're gonna watch you Tuesday." No, you're not, motherfucker. I mean, seriously.
It's because Elon Musk had these great ideals, right? We can't go live on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, unless we want to pony up the dough,
Right.
I mean, show me the money,
Right.
kind of deal. And I don't know if I like Elon that much. You know what I'm saying?
You and a lot of people don't
You
like
know,
Elon that
don't
much.
let me figure out how to put this motherfucker on TikTok. You know,
From what I understand, you can put it on TikTok.
yeah, but I'm not technical. Man, I'm 49 years old. You know how long it's gonna take me to figure that the fuck out?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a second. Hey, I'm gonna tell you a story that you are absolutely gonna love.
Okay.
It's right up your alley.
All
Okay.
right.
Now,
I could use a good story.
have you been on Twitter in the last say half hour?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I put this on Twitter about the past half hour or so, but I'm gonna put it here because. So let me ask you this: do you know anybody that runs a tighter schedule than me?
Uh, no.
I run a pretty tight schedule, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Okay, so when I get home, I like to especially on Tuesdays, get home, eat some, take my medicine so I don't die, and like get on here, start doing the podcast thing, put the normal day job over here, right?
Sure.
So one of my things on Tuesday nights is that I take the recycling down and I check the mail. Now I live in the forest; it's a long way from the street, right? So it's a long way from the street. So I go down there and I take the recycling down so they can come get it tomorrow morning, and I check the mail. Okay, I told you that story to tell you this story. In April, I was on a podcast called The Gratitude Geek. Okay, it's hosted by a very nice lady named Candace Rodarte. Okay. And I was on there. Typically, I guest on a lot of podcasts. And when I do, it's typically in representation of the Stupid History Minute.
Yeah.
Typically. So, not a lot of people want to talk about sports because it's going to go till Braves, and then we're in this room here. So anyhow, so I was on the podcast, talked about Stupid History Minute, Stupid History Book. We talked about Unfiltered Studios and we talked almost 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. And I guess on a lot of podcasts. I've been on yours. I've been on almost a lot of the Unfiltered Studios podcasts. I've been on a lot that are outside of our network, and I always have a good time. I was very very thankful, and back and when we have guests, we're always very thankful for people coming on with us. You have guests on Finding Your Way, but on Finding Your Way, the reason I thought this was right up your alley. On Finding Your Way, you talk about a lot about kindness. Would you say?
Yeah.
And being kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love random acts of kindness. So imagine my surprise when I walked down to the mailbox and I found this.
What is it?
Okay. It is a card from Candace of the Gratitude Geek. That's my face right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's a card. It has the name of the episode that I was on.
Oh,
Okay. It's
yeah.
Stupid Unfiltered Podcasting with Kev Pound. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you open it, I mean, this thing's like legit. It's like glossy, and then when you open it, it has,
A
and then
handwritten note.
What it says is, Keb, thank you for sharing your story with the Gratitude Geek audience. I'd love to have you back early next year.
Wow.
Stay groovy, Candace Rodarte, gratitudegeek.com, and her phone number, which I'm not going to publish because we don't want the trolls out there texting her at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And then on the back, it says, please consider leaving a review of your podcast interview, which I've already done, and scan me to find the Gratitude Geek on your favorite podcast player and a QR code.
Mm-hmm.
This right here, number one, as podcasting goes and as podcasters, is genius. This right here. Okay. Number two, it's probably the nicest thing that another podcaster has ever done for me being on their show. So I just wanted to say, I love random acts of kindness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate them. I appreciate gestures like this because there's a lot of things that we do in this world that we just don't want any monetary value established to them. We just want a simple thank you.
Right.
Simple, hey, you did a good job. That goes a long way. Everybody nowadays puts a monetary value towards things, but whether you're in your professional life, your personal life, your spiritual life, whatever, the words "thank you" go so far with people
Right.
like me. You know what I'm saying? They go
Mhm.
so far; they're almost worth more than money. It depends on how much money you have. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some out there that say that money means you never have to say thank you or never have to say I'm sorry or whatever. But this right here is next level. Right here is next level.
Mhm.
And I want everybody that's listening to me right now to go check out the Gratitude Geek podcast, especially the one with that I was on. And it's a good show. Ever since I was on it, I listen to it every week. It's a good show. It's an interview show, not unlike Sleevy. And she's been doing it for over 10 years. So it's pretty cool. But that's it's just like professionally made. It's not like something like you should clip art, and paper macheted or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I thought that was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
We call that that's like ninja stuff, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just it's just really cool, and it blew me away. For a while, I didn't know what to say, and so I put a little video up on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all that, thanking her. I know she's not a real big Twitter person, but or X or whatever the fuck we're calling it, but and all the stupid history of it, social medias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what so you're on that show. What else you got going on this week?
Not much. Did want to give a shout out. I don't want to bring everybody down real quick. You know what I'm saying? But I
Mhm.
do want, you know what? I got to tell you another story.
Of course you
Okay.
do.
Tell the
Yeah.
people another story. In 2007, 8, I think it was 7. No, we started in 2006. I was on a internet radio show called the Total Sports Experience, and we were on a site called Blog Talk Radio. And this was kind of a genius because it was like an internet radio station that operated like a regular radio station, so you
Right.
could like have people like call in and stuff.
Mhm.
And we had a sports show. Go figure. And it was
Go figure.
me. It was me and a guy, an ex-player named CJ Rhodes, and a journalist and an ex-player named Eric Kenny. And it just kind of like me, you and St. Joe. We just kind of had that dynamic that worked. You know what I'm saying? They would talk technical and I would just make fun of them. So it was like perfect for me. I never had to be prepared. It was perfect.
Right.
So anyhow, we got called by a local radio station here in Jacksonville, and they wanted to put our show on the local radio station, 3 hours once a week. And we're like, okay, can we do Saturdays? And we were pre-game for college football.
Okay.
And it was pretty cool. Then when college football went on, naturally we talked NFL and we talked, everything. But we and this is back when, to give you kind of the era of when it was. Um, this was back when Tebow was playing for the Broncos, and David Garrard was the quarterback for the Jaguars. And that's the time frame that we're looking at. So, in a second. So, um, they wanted us to get in tight with a local team, and the local teams here are naturally the Jacksonville Jaguars. The At the time it's called the Jacksonville Suns, now Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, and the Arena League team, the Jacksonville Sharks. And so no one was covering the Sharks. It was arena football, and we had the NFL here, so no one covered the Arena League team. Well, the Arena League team was making a push to go to the Arena Bowl.
Yeah.
So and they were the best team in the league. Had a guy at quarterback named Aaron Garcia, whose jersey is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So, um, so we got in good there, and we went, talked with the Sharks. We had season tickets with the Sharks. We did tailgate with TSX at the Sharks games. We had Sharks players, Sharks coach, Sharks owner on the show. We even had the Sharks kicker. There was a game where he won an Arena League game. I guess it was 140 to 143. But if you've ever been to an Arena League game, they're typically high scoring affairs, and there's no defense on an Arena League
Fun to
team.
watch.
Yeah, very fun to watch. Very fun. It's like a rock concert with a football game just happened.
Right.
And anyhow, so one of the key components to this was their unofficial fan mascot that went by the name Jack's Sharkman. And he wore like a superhero costume and he's a military veteran, and he didn't call it his costume, he called it his uniform. And his name was George Moses. And anyhow, he was the Jack Shark man, and we had him on the show. We had him on the internet show before we went to Celestial Radio. That's how long we had a relationship with this guy. And he would come over to tailgate with us, and which is funny because he didn't really drink. And he'd come over there, signing autographs for the kids. He'd give out candy, lollipops to the kids, and no, that's not creepy. So he would do all this good stuff, even just a couple years ago, the soon-to-be world famous wife and I went to it. Took my children to a Sharks game, and he wound up sitting right in front of us, and we talked for almost the entire game. I told him this was back when you and I and St. Joe were doing the Unfiltered podcast, and I shared with him that. He texted me a week or so later, said, "Hey, great podcast, I'm gonna listen every week and stuff like that." So he was a listener and all this. And on Sunday I got word that he had a heart attack and passed away. And it just blew me away. I just wanted to publicly, send my thoughts and prayers to his family and his wife and his children, and hope they can get through there. He was in his mid-50s, so and retired from the military, not too long ago. So not to bring anybody down, I just wanted to, publicly give a shout out, before we get into nonsense. I'm thinking about him and his family, and it just hits real close to home when stuff like that happens. So,
right.
Hug your family, people.
Pull them in tight. Things are going.
Yeah.
Things are crazy right now. So, please.
You ever hear what happened about Beirut? Beirut?
Beirut?
Yeah, you hear about Beirut?
No, did it?
You know about Beirut?
I mean, I know Beirut. I mean, it's a town. Did something happen that I missed?
Yes or no? You know about Beirut?
Depends on. Yes, I know about the town. I don't know any news surrounding it recently.
You hear about Beirut?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
You hear about him?
You mean Babe Ruth?
Yeah, best damn baseball player ever lived.
Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for taking me on that ride.
I can't take credit for that. That's a line out of a movie called The Best of Times. It's an early '80s movie. I wonder if our friends at Movies Lovers Unite would do a review of The
Of
Best of
that particular
Times.
movie, yeah,
Robin Williams and Kurt Russell.
interesting.
Oh, it's a fantabulous movie. It's about high school football.
It's fantabulous. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, they were high school football stars, and they lost this one game, and it keeps messing with them until they're like 40. So they come up with this grand idea of let's get all the players back and play the game again, and
oh,
it's awesome.
what could go wrong,
Yeah,
right?
I mean it's Robin Williams at Robin Williams' best. It was like right around the time that they filmed Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh yeah,
So it
yep,
was right that time frame, right around there, early mid '80s.
yeah.
So anyhow, it's Kurt Russell in his prime, Robin Williams in his prime. Yeah, go.
Mhm.
And it's got a bunch of those people that are in a lot of movies, but you never really know their names.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah. I feel like I haven't thought of Kurt Russell in a while. Has he
it's got
been?
the chick who played Teen Witch too.
I don't know.
I forget her name.
I've never watched that movie. Sorry.
That doesn't strike me as a movie that you would watch. You know. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's on at like 3:30 in the morning on like, you know, Nick at Night or whatever.
Okay.
Do they still have Nick at Night?
I don't know. Nickelodeon got sued, didn't they?
For what?
Well, lots of things. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. They weren't on the list, were they?
Yeah, poor treatment of
Oh yeah, they
children.
had that documentary that came out.
Yeah, I can't remember. I didn't watch it. I don't know if it was. I think they just something about abusing children. I think so. It was serious. So I don't even know if Nickelodeon exists anymore.
You know what's abusive?
What?
We ain't got one goddamn viewer.
Well, I mean,
Not
it's on.
one.
Did we share the link?
I didn't.
I don't know.
That's not my job.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not my job.
Here. Let me get on YouTube real quick and see
Yeah.
YouTube. I should have started there. I didn't even know. I mean, for
I mean,
heaven's sakes.
we ain't got one damn viewer. And I'm trying to figure out why the hell we go live, but it's fun just knowing that somebody might tune in and not comment,
Yeah. I Here
you
we go.
know, because I want somebody to tune in so they can look at my little pithy comment below my name because yeah, and this is really good for the audio version here. Somebody's driving in their car being like, what the fuck are these guys? What the fuck am I listening to? You know, I'm gonna flip it over to Finding Your Way because at least I get some substance with that.
Right. You
But
could.
sometimes though, isn't it good just to hear people bullshit?
Maybe. Yeah.
All
I
right,
think so.
let me rephrase that. Sometimes isn't it good to listen to us just bullshit?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We did advertise, however, we were going to talk. Oh, we got one. We got one, or is that you?
It's me.
That just like last week. I said so. We got a full show for you. I know we're 18 minutes in. We haven't talked about a goddamn thing, but we are going to get to the Olympics in a second. However, today was the Major League Baseball trade deadline. So, Beebs, I want to throw some of these trades at you. Okay.
Okay. Throw some trades at me.
All right. So you're familiar with the Detroit Tigers?
The Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, they lost the faith. So
They lost the faith.
they lost the faith. They became sellers. Yeah, they gotta overtake the Twins and the Guardians. Formerly known as the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So they lost the faith. So they traded their ace Jack Flaherty to the Los Angeles Dodgers. So the rich get richer.
The Dodgers needed more.
In
Surprised it
my
wasn't the
opinion,
Yankees.
no. Yeah, dude, don't get me started. Um, okay, so that was probably the biggest trade of the day. Okay, the Jack Flaherty trade. But there are some interesting trades here. The Padres, they're in San Diego, named after somebody's Catholic. They acquired left-handed pitcher Tanner Scott and right-handed pitcher Brian Hoeing from the Marlins. The Marlins like unloaded everybody. They traded 10 players today.
10?
10.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
so two. Oh, I guess. Listen to who they traded to. So they Padres acquired Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing, a left-handed and a right-handed pitcher from the Marlins for left-handed pitcher Robbie Snelling, right-handed pitcher Adam Mauser, infielder Graham Pauley, and infield Jay Bashirs. No one's ever heard of any of those people. The Guardians acquire right-handed pitcher Alex Cobb from the Giants
Mhm.
for left-handed pitcher Jacob Bereshnin and a player to be and you know what, the illustrious player to be named later. You know,
Right.
you always got to love the player to be named later. Everybody's looking around the locker room. Am I the player to be named later? Um, the Reds acquire infielder Davis Wenzel from the Rangers for cash. Yeah, Rangers Reds just out there buying players. It's just, I don't have any players to give you. I just got cash. You know what I'm saying? All right. So the Yankees require, I'm going to butcher this name, Enil de los Santos and right-hander Thomas Balboni from the Padres for outfielder Brandon Lockridge. Um, the Padres made some moves today, man. They acquire left-handed pitcher Martin Perez from the Pirates for Ronaldo Jimenez. And the Pirates are loading up too because they're trying to sniff that last wild card spot. The Boston Red Sox acquire right-hand pitcher Luis Garcia from the Angels for 4 prospects. That's not a bad deal. What do you need? You need pitching. You need bullpen.
You need pitching and you need bullpen.
So if you're going to try to make a playoff run,
Yeah, you gotta have pitchers.
and you're in there with the Yankees and the Orioles,
Right.
So the Orioles, speaking of the Orioles, they acquired left-handed pitcher Gregory Soto from the Phillies for right-handed pitcher Seth Johnson and a right-handed Moses Chase. Back to LA and the Dodgers. Is that still you on the YouTube, or do we have somebody watching?
We have somebody watching.
Well, if you're watching out there, why
Leave
don't
a
you
comment?
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the Major League Baseball trade deadline. I'll be done momentarily. We're going to get to the Olympics in a second. We want to know what you people think about the Olympics, so we'll have a conversation. The Dodgers so they already got Jack Flaherty, right?
Yeah.
They get center fielder Kevin Kiermaier from the Blue Jays. If you don't know who that is, he made a name for himself during 2020 when the Rays were in the World Series.
Mm.
He was their center fielder. The Giants acquired first baseman outfielder Mark Canha from the Tigers. There's the second Jack Flaherty. Now they're getting ready to first baseman. They're unloading. We've lost the faith.
Right.
The Diamondbacks get Dylan Floro. That's a good. Homer Simpson got traded to Family Guy.
Did he really?
Homer Simpson. Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually, Sleevey, Homer Simpson got traded to the Philadelphia Phillies because they're a fucking joke. And yes, I know they're in first place.
Hey, Kev, did you know the Phillies are in first place?
I did. Yeah. Fuck you very much. So going down here, we don't care about the Mets. We don't care about the Phillies. Don't care about the Pirates. Fuck the Mets. Fuck the Twins. Rangers. Fuck the Mets. Who did you say lost to the Yankees? Who lost to the Yankees?
Twins? Was it the Twins? It wasn't the Twins.
That's a no context comment. Who lost to the Yankees? Okay.
Yankees are on a roll right now, so
we appreciate the comment. I really do. Anyhow, the Braves, the Atlanta Braves, is what I'm getting at here. Philly lost to the Yankees. That's good. We need Philly to lose, man. You know what I'm saying? I won't root for the Yankees. I will not root for the Yankees, but I won't. Yeah, but that's one game, dude. I mean, the Yankees got swept by the Mets 2 weekends ago. You know, I mean, that's kind of that's one game. We need like Philly to lose like 8 in a row. You know. Anyhow, um, so the Braves get in a trade with the San Francisco Giants, get Jorge Soler and right-handed pitcher Luke Jackson, both who were on the 2021 World Series champion Atlanta Braves, and they're back. And we had to give up Tyler Matzik and a prospect for him. But those were the big trades of the day.
Well, I mean, it's deadline day.
Deadline day. It's always fun, but it's never fun until like 5:30 when it's over at 6.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See the flurry. Yeah.
We got a comment here that says we get so few comments. I'm gonna put every one of them up there.
Yeah.
They were smoking some good stuff to lose to the Mets. Do you know, is marijuana legal in New York or New Jersey?
I don't
Like
know.
recreational
marijuana?
Me? Yeah, because I know that you like the wacky tobacco.
You know, sure I do. I mean, you're asking the guy who knows all the stuff about it. Yeah, let me tell you.
Hey, what's legal in France? Is anything illegal in France? I'm sure murder is, but outside of that.
I mean, after watching that opening ceremonies, I'm not sure if anything's illegal.
Right. Sleepy says it's in New Jersey, it's legal, and in New York, he doesn't know. But I'm sure they get it in New York if they have. I mean, they could just drive over to New Jersey, right?
Right. I suppose so.
Unless
Hang out for the day.
Unless you're in the Finger Lakes, that's kind of a long drive.
A lot of people get lost in the Finger Lakes.
I was at Lake Canandaigua one time, and what was I was like, I thought these lakes were big. They are. I could see the other side. It's like right over there. They're like, no, the other way, man. They're not very wide, but they are long. Yeah, beautiful country up there. Beautiful country. I mean, for New York.
For New York.
Yeah.
Upstate New York's beautiful. I've been there several times.
I mean, when you live in Florida, I mean, beautiful is all relative, right? It could be like down here. It's very pretty, but then it gets hot as fuck and it ruins it, right? It rains, we get shitty weather, we got to dodge hurricanes and shit like that. In New York, it could be beautiful, and then you hear one of those motherfuckers talk, and then you're just like, I'm fucking in New York. He's like, hey, what up, jabroni? I mean, that kind of, you think you're in the middle of Sopranos. Didn't we go through last week why I don't like New York?
We did. Do we need to rehash it or
no? I mean, I'm just saying.
So I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
That's a transition for you. Cut. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, real quick. Next week, do we get St. Joe back next week? Or
I think we do.
Maybe. I mean, are you tired of me yet?
I'm not tired of you.
No. Thank God. You know what? Right here. Thank God you're from Jersey too, Sleevy. I ain't got nothing against Jersey other than where did Brooklyn go? Were they the New Jersey Nets?
They were.
They were the New Jersey
now
Nets.
They're Brooklyn.
Right. Why did they leave New Jersey?
Money.
Okay.
I
don't know either. CNBA, who gives a fuck? But that's a good segue. What did you think? I want your honest opinion about the opening ceremonies for these 2024 Olympiad. That's in, I think it's the 37th Olympiad, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sleepy
says yes, they were because the owner of Brooklyn is JC. Cool.
So opening ceremonies were the weirdest opening ceremonies I've ever watched. And when I say weird, I was having trouble really, because when you watch opening ceremonies, a lot of the times the opening ceremonies are about the host nation's history. How did they get there? What's special about that country? Didn't get a lot of vibes about that during that open opening ceremony. There's some cool stuff. I don't want to say that. Like the very end of the ceremony with Celine Dion, pretty cool. I mean,
She's great.
she
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 really
put
is.
on a freaking show, and the Eiffel Tower in the background, and the what's the name of that place where all the athletes went?
I don't know. What's going on over there?
I got angry animals, I guess. I don't know what's going on over here.
Isn't it funny how when somebody knocks on your door, your dogs always think it's for them?
Right. Oh yeah, for
You
heaven's
know?
sakes. But anyway, so like I'm not sure, like, there's such a rich history in France about a lot of things. I mean, like, there's the food, there's there's the food, you got Napoleon. I mean, you got World War One, you got the Louvre, you got all sorts of stuff. I mean, they showed the Louvre, but they didn't really show. They were more interested in describing a menage a trois than they were in really describing.
For our listeners that don't know, what is a menage a trois?
Well, isn't it so?
Google's at everybody's
Yeah,
disposal.
everybody can Google that, right? Careful what you see. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know what? Next week, she's going to kill me. Next week, tune in to Pedals of Support to find out what a menage a
Oh,
trois is.
but no, but see, that's
Or
the thing is, like,
tune into the Sleepy G show. He'll tell you.
I was just struggling to figure out what a lot of it had to do with. Now I get the runways and I get they showed Louis Vuitton and that kind of stuff. I mean, I see all that stuff, and I know that Paris is a big like fashion hub, so I get that. Like that all kind of made sense to me. The rest of it was kind of weird artistic stuff. The opera, the rock opera was cool. Did you see that?
Was that with the Lady Gaga?
Nope. That was with like the heavy metal band like playing on platforms at a castle, and like there's this lady floating by with like fireworks going off, and she's singing an opera to their heavy metal music, and in the background there's the lady who lost her head, Marie Antoinette, was standing in the background. So it was kind of weird, but it was interesting, and like seeing that rock opera was kind of cool. But like I really struggled with connecting that to the Olympics. Does that make sense?
It
Because
does.
Paris has held the Olympic Games prior.
Well, the last time they held them in 1900 and then 1924.
Right. And then having all the athletes like go by in boats, that was weird.
I think they were trying to showcase the river.
I think they were trying to, I guess, maybe showcase the entire city, but like
Mhm.
most, if not all, opening ceremonies are all done in the main like athletic hub, which is usually a giant, stadium, right?
Mhm.
The track and field stadium. They usually hold it in there because there's a big giant venue in there. They can do whatever show they want to. And I just, aside from all the political and kind of weird things that were in the show, I just really, at the end of the day, besides all that, I would just say I just really had a struggle connecting it to the Olympic Games.
I think the last 20 minutes was good with the
Right.
laser lights and Celine Dion and the masked figure. I was getting kind of tired of the masked figure
The mass figure was a great
yeah.
idea, but did he have to last the whole? I mean, did he have to be a thing for the whole show? I don't know. Anyway, at the last 20 minutes, if they could have just made it more like that, then I would have been like,
So
that was awesome.
so
So
Sleevy says that Paris is not known for sports.
no, Sleevy says Paris is known.
No. Read below it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paris is actually known for sports. Sleevy G. They have one of the best football teams in the world and have
Yeah,
had,
that's
and they have
the
multiple
term
football teams.
sport used loosely. You know what I thought was funny is they had that Zidane guy.
Zidane,
Yeah, that guy.
one of the
Eh,
best football players ever.
Yeah, didn't he get a red card in the final of the World Cup for headbutting a dude in the chest?
Yes, it was awesome. That was his retirement game too. He stopped playing internationally after that, I think. But like, they have a rich sporting tradition.
Of headbutting people in the
Yeah,
chest.
but Paris has some major sports teams in it. So I mean, and they're some of the most violent fans in the world, if anyone knows that. But they're called the Ultras. But when it comes to the Olympics,
Yeah,
as
but
far as
that's one sport.
I guess, I mean, okay, I mean, it's the sport of kings, as St. Joe puts it.
I think he's just fucking with you when he says that, but I mean, Sleevey says for our listeners, it's football, not football. Football is a game that they play in America with their hands, and they do. People may ask, do they kick the ball in American football? Sometimes. But you kick to score, and then how many points do you get when you kick it to score? Sometimes 3, sometimes 1. Yeah,
Right. Sometimes 3, sometimes 1.
yeah.
As far as the actual Olympics have gone, I thought it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I mean, I think that the coverage has been good. I mean, back when I was a kid, or back when even 10 years ago, I don't know if they had the type of coverage they have now. Like, if you have Peacock, you
Yeah,
have everything. I mean, you can
so
watch
even if
any
you miss
sport
it,
you want.
even if you miss it,
Yeah,
you
it's
can
there.
go back and watch the entire thing. Like I totally missed yesterday the swimming. You text me, you're like, dude, you said it. I'm like threatening you. I'm like, dude, don't tell me.
Dude, I'm sitting there. Yeah, I'm watching in
And
prime time. I don't even know. I mean, you could know the results before watching prime time, but I'm watching prime time and I'm like cheering people on at top. I mean, at the top of my lungs. It's not even live.
do you know how many people that I've threatened with, I will call you at 3 o'clock in the morning, talk your ear off. I mean, I've threatened people if they tell me the outcome of these certain events that I want to watch, the beach volleyball, the swimming, even to a degree, not the men's, I could care less, but the women's gymnastics. I enjoy watching that, but not for reasons that you freaks think.
Right.
But even I watched the men's gymnastics, and
How
when
about
that
last night, man?
that dude with the pommel horse, and
Yeah. How
he
about
came
that?
up, and that's like the only thing he does, and he totally delivered. You
Oh,
know,
yeah. And I got to tell you, so I posted a bunch of this stuff on my profile on Twitter just so I could harken back to it. But that guy, there's a lot of really cool things that have happened in the Olympics with the United States in the last day. But that dude on the pommel horse, what was his name? It's like he's
yeah,
like an obsessed freak about the pommel horse. That's his only thing he does in the Olympics.
yeah,
That's why he showed up.
yeah,
He showed up just to be there. Here we go. His name is Steven Nedarashik.
and he's kind of a nerd.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up. He had to take his glasses off before he got on the pommel horse.
Yeah,
Like, and then when they were celebrating, he put them back on. He's like,
yeah. It's like Clark Kent turns into Superman.
but like while he's doing that thing, we're all like, oh my gosh, if he does well on this, they're gonna get their first medal in like 25 years, right? Like they've waited long enough, but when he got off that, they all knew that he had hammered it. And
That, it's kind
seeing
of
them
like,
that
but not.
excited about winning a bronze medal, my son's watching. He's like, they didn't even win gold. What are they excited about? I'm like, you have no idea about this sport, do you? This
It's
sport,
Olympic. It's Olympic medal, man. But that's kind of like though is my gripe about U.S. soccer, men's soccer. It's like at 330 million people, can't we find like 5 guys that are like really good at gymnastics?
I mean, I really good
That
is
that can compete with the best for gold. I mean,
the two
you
teams
know,
that beat them last night, China and Japan. They have guys on their teams who are like shoulders
yeah. But
above
what I was telling the soon to be world famous wife is that those people either they win gold or silver, or they go home and they get killed.
them. Well, not in Japan.
I mean, I don't know, man. These people bombed Pearl Harbor pretty good.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they didn't care about American lives then. You know, I mean, these people like make their people like take like naps at work. You know, it's just so they're more productive.
Right.
You know, which is not necessarily a bad idea, but
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, like, that was cool to watch. There was did you catch the results from the women's rugby today?
no, because I got home and then I came on here to talk to you.
Okay. Do you want to know the results?
Sure.
So today, they played themselves into the bronze medal match,
Okay.
and they went into the, you know how they have
Oh!
what?
Oh!
What are you?
Oh!
Oh boy, and there he is, Scott Show. Well, there's got to be what 3 o'clock in the morning over there, right?
Man, it's early in the morning over there. We got St. Joe showing up from Gay Paris, where he is at the
Shoot, he might be watching beach volleyball right now.
you know,
uh,
for our Wednesday listeners, we just put up a comment. St. Joe just popped in and just said, "What up, bitches?" You know, and now we got two people commenting.
yeah.
You know, So
How about that?
anyhow, rugby. Sorry.
So they went into the final 30 seconds of the rugby match. You know how they have extended time,
Right.
and they're all the way on what you would call uh, their own end zone,
Right.
essentially.
Right.
And they have 20 seconds to get it across the line. Guess what happened? All the way
Uh,
down the field. They had to run for a touchdown, 100 yards, right?
right.
And they get the ball, they toss it backwards because they can't throw it forwards, right? And they toss it backwards, and the lady just stiff arms the crap out of one of the Australians and just runs 100 freaking yards and scores a try, and that
Nice.
effectively wins them their first medal in women's rugby since 1900.
Wow. That's awesome.
And it was a big freaking deal. Like
That's awesome.
I watched the replay of at least that play, and it was, even the announcers were like, this is unbelievable. It's unreal. So
So answer me this. Right now, it is 3:42 a.m. in Paris, France.
yeah,
Okay. So do you think that St. Joe is just waking up or hasn't been to bed yet?
if I know St. Joe, he hasn't been to bed yet.
Okay, that's what I think too, because they got wine over there that's like, drinking the, like orange juice over here. I mean, they're just giving it out on every corner in Paris, I bet. Just like, here, have a glass of wine. Here, have a glass of wine. Oh, I'm hammered. Ah, no, don't worry. Everybody else is. Here, have a glass of wine. So, like, would you, if you went to Paris, would you drink wine?
If I did,
Yeah,
no.
but it's like a when in Rome thing.
Oh, here you go. That's going up there right now.
I
No.
for our Wednesday listeners, St. Joe comments, "I'm old and had to pee."
It just happened to be during the time frame we're online.
Right.
Right. Man. Anyway, yeah, I don't know that I would. I just have never had a, you know me. I've never had an adult beverage,
Okay.
so I'm not sure that I would change that.
I hear wine is different there though. I hear like you don't really get a hangover from it if you drink too much. Like it's made differently. Like
Nah, it sounds
yeah,
like an old wives' tale to me.
I don't know. It's like tequila is different in Mexico. I don't know. I mean, tequila always makes me break out.
Yeah.
It makes me break out in orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But
That's good.
anyhow, what's naturally you watch the swimming. I got
So
I got to
I
catch
know
up
the
on that
results of
today.
I know the results today of
Of the
today's events.
four by 200. Don't tell me. You know?
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. I know the
Yeah.
results of the women's backstroke final.
Okay.
I will tell you this, like, there was a cool thing that I saved for later, but, this week, we, the United States, won our 3,000th medal in
Ever?
ever in Olympic history, and the next closest country is 1,500.
Who's that? China?
Yeah.
China.
Mhm. So,
What happened to Russia? Are they in the refugee camp? Like,
Russia, they got caught in a cheating scandal, so they can't represent Russia this year.
yeah, but that was like a while ago, right?
Yeah, but then they also invaded Ukraine. So there's that going on.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Well, the Olympics is about unification, not war. So
Under that rationale, where's Israel?
they're there, and so are Ukraine.
Yeah. So I
So
mean, it seems that we're punishing. I'm not getting on a pro Russia kick. So those of you that like to DM me about every little thing that I say, I'm not getting on a pro Russia kick. I'm definitely not pro Russia. Fuck Russia. I'm just, I'm with this comment right here. Um, so, but what I am saying is that it seems like it's a little selective. To me, I mean, if you're in a war, if you invaded Ukraine, you're the aggressor. I mean, granted, I'm not trying to get into geopolitical discussion here because you know how I am. I'm just saying that when it creeps into my sports, I get a little
speaking of which, now
fucking
that you brought that up,
flustered.
this week explained probably has a really good explanation. We probably
Yeah,
should have had him
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Because he's all about that kind of stuff. I think I think Palestine uh and Israel are both represented.
Though, if you are a fan, not to change the subject, but to absolutely change the subject, um, if you are a fan of the Olympics and want to see firsthand some good events, you should go on Instagram and follow Show Me Your Trips.
Yeah,
Because there's just some good video over there that you ain't gonna see on the networks. You know what
right.
I'm saying? He gave us a close up of the opening ceremonies and where people sit, and they were like putting the flags of how you registered. So if you registered as an American, you probably got an American flag, and all that. I just think that the pomp and the circumstance of it, I think, is pretty cool. Um, I'm always like, you know, I'm not even in Paris, and when I watch like a medal ceremony and they're playing the American national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, I mean, if you don't get teary eyed, I mean, do you have a heart?
Yeah, and how
Yeah,
about what's the name of our back Murph?
Ryan
Ryan
Murphy,
Murphy
right? Yeah,
standing on the podium getting his bronze medal, and his wife holds up a sign, "We're having a girl."
yeah,
That's a good way to surprise your guy.
yeah. Do you know where he swam?
Florida?
At Bowls here in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I think he told us that,
yeah.
a little while ago, but
Yeah, him and, Caleb Dressel,
yeah.
both Sharks. They didn't, they, Bowls is a school that you can go to, and you can swim, but they also have a USS swimming team. I actually swam for it in the, late '80s and early '90s, and, they, train I actually trained with a guy named Coach Greg Troy, who previously, when Michael Phelps was on the team, was USA Swimming's head coach. He's probably the best sports coach I've ever seen in my life. However, if he got hit by a truck tomorrow, I wouldn't care. But he's that type of coach. He's very, very tough. Very,
Yeah,
if you could remember how it was in the '80s,
right.
that's him. But yeah, Ryan Murphy, Caleb Dressel. I mean, Katie Ledecky trains in Gainesville, but she's from out west.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen the 2 people we haven't really seen much of are, Caleb Dressel and Katie Ledecky, but I feel like
Yeah,
their
just
events are
wait.
coming up soon. So,
I'm interested to see that 1500 with Katie Ledecky. That's kind of her. The 400 is kind of a little short for her. She's a distance swimmer. So I'm kind of interested to see the 1500 with her. That's the one where she just blows everybody away normally,
yeah.
and I'm really interested to see that. And then,
Well, that
you know,
400 swimmer who beat her, she's a 400, 200 swimmer.
right.
So
She's
she won't
short,
even
short
be in the
course.
1500.
Right. Right.
Right.
And so Ledecky, I mean, they should just give her the gold right now and, save a lot of
I
people,
think the 800 is 800. The 800 is probably she'll win that too. Is that correct? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I don't know. She in the I know she's in the 1500, and yeah, she St. Joe. You're right. She could very well break the world record for it. And correct me if I'm wrong. That would be her own world record.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
She's the one that's kind of running the show on that race.
yeah.
So
I mean, very dominant swimmer. And there are a number of events at the Olympics that I enjoy watching the women more than the men. And one of them, swimming, I like both ways. I love the relays, both the medley relay and the 400 free. But naturally, I have to say this, and I hope St. Joe hangs out for me to get this out. But I'm tuning in again, like Beeb said earlier. If you got Peacock, you can watch whatever you want to watch whenever you want to watch it, and and so um, I tuned into the women's beach volleyball. And I had to say to myself, Beebs, excuse the term, but I had to say to myself, what the fuck? What the fuck? They're wearing leggings. What the fuck?
okay.
They're fucking wearing pants. I was just like, that's not traditional. You know, they're wearing leggings.
Come on, man. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
So anyhow, I know we have mainly a male dominated audience, and I guarantee you that they're agreeing with me right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I guarantee you. But anyhow, tuned into the badminton, have you?
Yeah, well, so I shared a couple replays from the badminton games for you.
Yeah. Did you see Snoop Dogg commentating the badminton? Give me that. Give me that. Here you go. Give me that. Give me that.
No, take it back. All right. That review is like my favorite moment of TV in a long time. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I do have a headline for you because you brought up men's soccer.
No, you brought up men's soccer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, you said you couldn't figure out why we didn't have a good men's soccer team.
I've been saying that for the past 4 fucking episodes.
Well, guess what? For the
Yeah.
first time in 24 years, the U.S. men's soccer team advanced into the knockout stages at the Olympics.
Good. So they could get knocked out
Yeah,
by like somebody stupid like
but they made it
Qatar.
further than they've made it in 24 years. So there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah. So who's gonna win the soccer?
Probably Argentina or France. They brought all their big players. When I say they're big players, their second string players are also professional football or professional soccer players on really good teams in Europe. So it's not really fair.
Right.
So, but that said, you never know. Maybe we can sneak in there and get third and get a medal. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
That'd be
They gonna
nice.
fit all those people on the podium,
I don't know. They got big podiums.
or does just like the captain go?
No, they all go.
Oh, okay.
They got big podiums. So, yeah, we already talked about women's rugby. It was insane. It was insane, St. Joe. We talked a little bit about it already. I didn't get to tune in for the whole match, but holy cow. Holy cow. Absolutely. So, Kev, there is something sad that happened.
If you say the Brewers beat the Braves, I'm hanging up.
not that. Uh, so there is something sad that happened, and it was there was a retirement of, and we just found out about it. But there was a retirement
Hey,
from our favorite Olympian.
okay, can you hold that thought real quick?
Yeah.
We have a score update from Milwaukee, and the Atlanta Braves are taking on the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee, and the Atlanta Braves are currently defeating the Milwaukee Brewers 5-0, mid-7. We're at the stretch. Back to you.
Right. Back to me. So there was the retirement of our favorite Olympian.
Yeah, I was upset with this. It's not just our favorite Olympian, but it was the ever loved Roger Wright's
Favorite
favorite
Olympian.
Olympian.
Yeah. And St. Joe's.
St. Joe loves this Olympian.
Yeah. So you want to? So our favorite Olympian. What was his name?
He was a Chinese trampoline extraordinaire. He won the gold medal in Beijing in '08,
And then
and
it was a
then
silver.
no, he won gold in London, and then he won bronze in Beijing, and then he won a silver in Rio and in Tokyo. And then he has retired in 2021 to coach the Chinese team. It's a trampoline extraordinaire, Dong Dong.
We're gonna miss him. Gone but never forgotten.
Beebs is gonna miss the Dong Dong.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Kev. For heaven's sakes.
Saint Joe's crying, man, right now. He's like,
I think that's
you know,
why he's awake.
I'm
I
not
think
gonna get any more Dong Dong.
I think he tuned in specifically for this announcement. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. Why don't you people out in Listerland? Why don't you write in and tell us your feelings on Dong Dong?
boy, you are opening up. And once again, that's at Kev Lives, KEBLIVES.
Yeah, KEBLIVES. And Mrs. St. Joe, she's
Well, we
awake.
didn't mean to make her cry.
She's listening to us. She's crying because just like St. Joe, she gets no more Dong Dong.
That was too far. That was a bridge too far, Cap.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to push the envelope.
That's too far, brother. That's too far.
Oh, Mrs. St. Joe knows I love her.
Yeah, well, I hope she does. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Yeah, dude, this is a superwoman.
That's true.
Who runs 26.2 miles in Boston. I don't like fucking driving 26.2 miles. For our Wednesday listeners, St. Joe types in, she really likes the Dong Dong. Well, the Dong Dong is retired. The Dong
too bad.
Dong is retired. The Dong Dong is coaching other Dong Dongs
now. Oh, for heaven's sakes, man. That was too good. In fact, that's a great way to kind of end the episode.
Oh, are we at our contractually obligated time frame?
No, I just didn't have any more to talk about.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah. Okay.
The Red Sox have been losing. I don't want to talk about them because I'm pissed at them. They didn't really make it. I mean, they made a couple moves at the trade deadline. Football's kind of on the horizon. If St. Joe was here, we'd be talking about how the Bears aren't going to play Caleb Williams in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
But we can wait till he's back for that.
Yeah, I mean, this Thursday is from this Thursday on until February, we're going to have football every Thursday. And, I know it's the Hall of Fame game. I know it's preseason, but, if you want your football fix, but we are just a hair's throw away. In the next coming weeks, we'll preview college football season. We'll that. I can't wait for that. We're going to preview. I mean, NFL's in training camp right now. They're trying downtown here. They're trying to teach Trevor Lawrence how not to drop the ball. They paid him $55 million. So like, look, we're paying you not to drop the fucking ball, but from
also, Jordan Love got a huge contract.
Huge contract. They're paying players in the NFL. The NFL's you got to get that franchise quarterback. You got to lock him down.
Tua got a big contract.
Tua got paid too.
Now he did it more. He was much more professional about it than the other people. I think like he actually showed up to training camp and was practicing. Like you should when you're under contract.
Florida State is playing in Dublin. Maybe in another country they won't keep them out of something they earn, and and thank God we don't have to deal with that this year because we get a 12-team playoff this year in college football, and we get to bitch about who they keep out of that.
Right.
So, and the arguments on strength of schedule and things of that nature. If Oklahoma were to go 8-4, do they get in? If Florida were to go 8-4, do they get in with the two of the top three hardest schedules in the country?
If they beat, I think Oklahoma, if they go 8-4 with the victory over LSU and Alabama in the same year, I don't know how you don't put them in, but that's just me.
Right. Well, going 8-4 in Gainesville means you have to beat either LSU, you have to beat Georgia, you have to beat Tennessee, you have to beat Texas.
They have to choose between two teams like that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
So my point is that with the 12-team college football playoff, it's not going to be without controversy. Just like the 14 one. So there'll be plenty of controversy, plenty of things for Kev to bitch about, and all this, but none of it will ever surpass the absolute travesty of a Power 5 conference champion, undefeated, not getting into the college football playoff.
Right.
That was just a travesty, a dark time for college football, and they should just all go jump off of a cliff. But we'll get into all of that. What do you have going on Finding Your Way this week?
So this week we'll continue on our series. I have picked out a fella to talk about.
Okay. And tune into Finding Your Way. You can download it wherever you download great podcasts. Stupid History Minute. We're continuing our series. We're just finishing up our series on sayings this week and getting into another series that I do every August, which I talk about sports the entire fucking month. It's what I call Keb's month. 2 years ago, we did the history of every baseball park. Last year, we did stupid things that have happened in sports, like stupid incidents like Mike Tyson's ear biting and things of that nature. And this year, really fun month, we're going to do stupid sports. And I've got one in there for you, Beebs, that gave you a little shout out on one of the episodes. There, and when you see it, when the day comes, you'll know.
All right.
But it's going to start off with, when I say stupid sports, going to give a little peek behind the curtain here. The very first episode coming out August 1st, which is Thursday, is a sport called chess boxing.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing. It's a professional thing.
Okay.
So you know what? A little peek behind the curtain. Rock skipping is absolutely in there. Rock skipping is a professional sport. All of these are professional sports, meaning that people get paid to play them.
Right.
All of them. And you get 31 of them because it's the month of August. So that's what's going on. So be sure to check out Show Me Your Trips and the Sleevey G Show. For those guys chiming in, they get by the name shout outs this week. Show Me Your Trips. I'm really excited to listen to in the next coming weeks to listen to Show Me Your Trips and Nailed It, because we're gonna have some good tips on traveling, and we're gonna have some good stories about Paris.
You know what?
And Europe.
Nailed It had quite an episode this week, by the way.
It wasn't quite as good as last week.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
I wasn't saying it was better. I was just saying it was quite an episode. That's all.
it was. I mean, it was. If you blink, you miss it. You know,
Right.
it's kind of short. You know, but but no, but it was great. Anyhow, nailed it, and then say and show me your trips. I'm excited to listen to those. And Sleepy G over there at Sleepy G Show's got having some great guests. Great guests. Very entertaining show over there. So
Always.
yeah, check it out along with all of our friends over at unfpod.com, the Unfiltered Studios Podcast Network. We're growing. A little shout out to the Jacked Up Review Show. And Cam joining us is the newest member of the Unfiltered Studios Podcast Network.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So we'll have fun over there. But we'll get back at it next week. Probably a little bit more Olympic talk, but probably getting into some football. It's getting close. And all that as the baseball shakes out. And it's in baseball, it's a mad dash to October. That's a trade deadline's
Yes, it
over.
is.
It's a mad dash. You know, you got what you're gonna get. St. Joe says, peace out from Paris. So for St. Joe from Gay Paris and for the Beebs, my name is the Kev. We'll catch you guys next week.
Catch you on the flippity flop.